For a limited time, $1 gets you full access to all the automotive industry news and content CBTNews.com has to offer. CBT News. Subscribe today. Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Zach Seago with today's top stories.
Thanks, Bridget. Starting off our coverage, according to General Motors' first quarter report, the company's Q1 sales grew by 17.6% year over year. GM's total U.S. sales reached 603,208 units, over 90,000 more than it sold 1 year before. The automaker's EV sales rose to an all-time high of 20,000, mostly driven by the Chevrolet Bolt. Steve Carlisle, GM Executive Vice President and President of North America, commented that the company was off to a great start as it headed, quote, into a busy season of new products and launches, end quote. Up next, Stellantis' U.S. sales dropped 9% in Q1, a decrease of more than 36,000 vehicles. While brands Chrysler and Dodge saw modest gains, the automaker's other labels such as Ram, Jeep, and Fiat experienced declining sales throughout the first quarter. With a 59% drop, Fiat suffered the most, followed by Alfa Romeo and Jeep. The only Jeep product to see higher sales was the Cherokee SUV. Stellantis recently ended production of the vehicle after closing its factory indefinitely. Toyota's first quarter sales declined 8.8% year over year, according to the company's most recent report. Last month's sales dipped 9.1% from the previous year in the US to a total of 176,456 units. From January through March, the automaker sold 496,558 units, 25.3% of which were electric. Jack Hollis, Executive Vice President of Sales at Toyota Motor North America, noted that the brand's selection of 22 EVs was the largest of any other automaker and offered customers, quote, a choice that fits their lifestyle, pocketbook, and needs, end quote. And last but not least, Ford's first quarter sales rose 10% year over year, driven in part by the brand's F-Series pickups. The company's total Q1 sales hit 475,906 units by the end of March, 170,377 of which were trucks. The Bronco and Explorer SUVs saw significant increases, gaining 38% and 36% respectively. The automaker's EV sales hit 10,900, an increase of 41%. Last year's Ford's recovery lagged behind other brands as it missed most of its targets in Q4. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Marty Milstead, president of the Mississippi Automobile Dealers Association, and Daniel Sparks, Mississippi State Senator. We'll be right back.
Delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves recently signed a bill that would put restrictions on EV manufacturers in the state. On today's show, we're pleased to welcome Marty Milstead, the president of the Mississippi Automobile Dealers Association. And we're also joined by Mississippi State Senator Daniel Sparks to discuss House Bill 401. Check it out.
This is very exciting news for the auto industry in the sense that there's so many of your colleagues, Marty, that are out there going, yeah, this is the kind of legislation we need for to protect our franchise dealers. So let me start with you, Marty. Why was this such an important element and why was it needed in Mississippi?
Sure. Jim, thanks for having myself and Senator Sparks on to start with. But so why we needed this bill in Mississippi, we had had a franchise law for 50 years in Mississippi, and that franchise law has been really good. Our legislature for years has recognized that car dealerships are important. It provides jobs in local communities. Consumers need it for service, sales, and all that. And so we've had the franchise law. And the franchise law said that you have to have a contract or an agreement to get a dealer's license in Mississippi between a manufacturer and the dealership. In 2019, an entity came to Mississippi, we'll just call them Tesla, applied for a manufacturer and a dealer's license at the same time. Our Motor Vehicle Commission's our licensing agency. They said you can't do that. So they went and filed a LLC, paid $50 for the Secretary of State, got a license, and did a contract with themselves. And our licensing law or franchise law that we've had for 50 years was destroyed in about 3 months. And so we had to go to work and try to get that law repaired and clarified. And that's what the problem was that we were trying to fix.
Sure. So Senator Sparks, you step in and say, I'm going to introduce a companion bill to HB 401 in the Senate. You also presented the bill to the Senate Finance Committee and on the Senate floor. Why did you think this was so important to change the law?
Well, to a great degree, we were reestablishing the law. I didn't feel like it was a change. We've had the law in the books since 1970. And as Marty described, we had seen it circumvented through an attorney general's opinion that was requested. And you could clearly tell the party knew what the law was and found a way around it. So we believe to re-clarify this and also put everybody on a level footing. That's why we did what we did. We had a lot of debate on the bill last year. It was heavily debated this year. A lot of different things were brought to the table. But ultimately, my position had always been one set of rules for everyone. It doesn't matter what your propulsion system is. We should have one set of rules for the sale of new automobiles in the state.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the latest news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. Join the #1 most watched newscast in the automotive industry. CBT News. Subscribe today.